Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, the reviews are in. Eric July's character, Isom, and his Rippaverse have been, I don't know, in the comic sort of news for a while. He funded his own comic, he built his own warehouse or something, I don't know. And this book was released physical only, no digital release, and it was just released. And the reviews that are coming in from people, everything I've heard, and I've only heard a few people, but they all had negative things to say mostly, and they all had similar things to say. Now, the main one I'm going to talk about is Matt Jarvo, because he is a YouTuber that people know, and he also has gotten attention from Eric July. Now, Eric July, of course, is our favourite little diversity shield. I mean, he's very bizarre to watch, because all he does is run down minorities, you know, on behalf of his white supremacist friends who have him there so they can say, see, we're not racist, we have one of our group is black, you know. Then he sits there and denounces, I'm not even going to go into what a diversity shield is and how he is one, but I've done other videos about that. But apparently some of the things he complains about, the basic left-wing stuff people complain, sorry, right-wing. I always get that confused because right, you know, I think of the right thing to do. So right-wing, it's always like, well, they're the bad guys. So I always go to say the left or the right, because they're right about everything usually. Well, at least they're, you know, on the right side of history mostly. But yeah, he basically just attacks left-wing people and that, and he does come across like a black Karen, like a diversity shield Karen. I don't know exactly what category you would put him in, but that does seem to be all he does, is run down minorities and people of colour on behalf of his white supremacist friends. And it's just really funny because apparently this character, and I haven't read the book, I'm not going to pretend like I have, there's no way I'm going to buy it, and there's no way anyone I know would have a copy I could borrow, because apparently people are doing lending libraries so they don't have to pay for it, so they can review it. His character is just a self-insert, and she's a black Karen. She basically just runs around trying to get revenge on people that he feels wronged by, and comes across as a Karen. I'm like, oh, now I was listening to Matt Jarvo's live stream, and I don't listen to him a lot, but I have the last week. I don't know why. I used to follow him before all these dramas, and then he disappeared for a while and came back. I mean, I like him because he takes the other side, but he takes it in a very adversarial way, and he is often just gunning for these people because they're chuds, and they are. But, you know, he's got his base as well that he's playing to. He wants people like me to listen, because we hate the chuds, and we can't listen to their show without being revolted and insulted and so forth. So, yeah, like he just takes real low blow shots at some people. They kind of deserve it, but still, I'd prefer he go high instead of going low. But he goes low a lot of the time, and he's like, I don't care. I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to go as low as I can, because why not? These people are, you know, filth, so why not just, you know, expose them for what they are? So I kind of respect that on one level, but it's not fun to listen to some of the times. It just feels like, ugh, yeah, but, you know, okay, they're this sort of person, but you really have to go after, you know. So I don't totally love Matt. I can listen to him, but not always. Sometimes I'm just like, really? And I'm like, why am I listening to this? And then other times I really totally agree with him. But his take on this character of Eric July's was that he was a self-insert Karen, some power fantasy, where it's just like, this is who he wants to be. And it's Sarah, no, what is it when it was traditionally a female wanted to put herself into a character? Mary Sue. Sorry, I kept wanting to say a different name. And it's a bit of a Mary Sue. Now, yes, he's only done one comic. Another complaint was there was no world building, there was no real story, nothing really happened. And his character was just really a narcissistic person who really had no concern for anyone other than his own ego and getting vengeance on people that he felt had, you know, slighted him, as opposed to, he apparently had some mission to find a woman, and he just kept stating how he didn't care about meeting the woman. So it's sort of the same thing I'm hearing from people. So it's self-insert, narcissistic, You know, it's just everything that they complain about other people doing, everything he complains about the left wing doing, that they're all self-inserting themselves, that, you know, they're just fighting for agendas, and, you know, it's not about the story or the character or the audience, it's just about, you know, getting their SJW points and their virtue signaling points. He's doing the exact same thing. And I just couldn't ignore that. I'm like, really? He's that, you know, he has that lack of, like, self-consciousness that he doesn't realize that's what he's doing, and he's doing exactly what he's, you know, criticizing other people for. And I thought that was just priceless, and I had to comment on that. Yeah, so I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you read the comic and you actually think it's any good, let me know. I'm not hearing anything good, but, you know, some of my audience, some of my audience, I don't have an audience, some of my people I'm listening to may not be objective, though. We must say that. I just had to say, some of the criticisms that Eric July was getting, aside from being a diversity shield and so forth, was that he was a grifter who had taken a lot of money from people and delivered nothing. I didn't understand this because I thought he'd already released his first issue of his comic. I realised it was just released. So up until this point, for all the money he raised and all the talking of building warehouses and, you know, being a new sort of comic, you know, option or whatever, he hadn't actually produced anything. So we have to give him credit for actually, you know, getting this started and creating his own sort of little publishing empire and his little universe. You know, we've got to give him credit for that. But I do understand why some people were criticising him, because up until now he produced nothing. But he has now. So we just have to respect that on some level, and now look at the actual quality of the content.